Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I have the chalk drawing for the letter L to share with you. This is for our Islamic Waldorf inspired main lesson block on the letters. So the first thing I'm going to do is erase our previous chalk drawing. I am using chalkboards from waldorfsupplies.com. They are 22 inches by 32 inches and they're portable and just perfect for this project. I'm also using my Sargent Art chalk pastels. I have two boxes here, both of them used, and I'm also using the Prophets of Allah book. This is volume 1 for inspiration for this drawing as well as for the story. We really like these books. They have been perfect in our homeschool. We've used them for many years. Alright, so I'm going to start with that box of chalks that's nearly done, and I'm going to start by outlining this ark. We are doing the story of Prophet Nuh and the ark. And this is going to be for the letter L, which is going to stand for lightning, and you're going to see the lightning in the shape of the letter L. And this is for a whole series of lessons that are for our letters main lesson block, in which we are using stories of the previous prophets instead of stories of the fairy tales in order to introduce each one of these letters. Alright, so I've started out with a white chalk to basically give an entire outline of how this drawing is going to go. And of course, since I have inspiration for this, it is far easier than trying to make up a drawing on my own. So once I get the basic structure of this chalk drawing done, then I can come back in with the color, and it's just going to kind of wipe over the white chalk. So you don't actually have to use the white chalk. You can start out with your colored chalk to begin with, but I prefer using this method. It's just an easy way to go about constructing this chalk drawing. Okay, so I've got the ark, which looks basically like a house on a boat, and it's going to be set against this huge wave that looks like it's going to topple it over. And then off to the side, we're going to have some really dark clouds, and then the lightning, which is going to have that almost comical shape, which is going to look like the letter L. When I'm doing these chalk drawings, I'm keeping in mind that these are going to be drawn then by my daughter during the lesson. While most chalk drawings that are used in, say, a Waldorf school setting are mostly used as inspiration, and then the drawing for the lesson is a little bit more simplified, in my case, my daughter wants to copy everything she sees on the chalkboard. So I have to remember to keep this as simple as possible, yet still adding some interest and some detail. So with each of my chalk drawings, I do have a main focus of the chalk drawing, which has quite a bit of detail. For this chalk drawing, it's going to be the ark, which isn't really going to signify the letter that we're studying. The letter is actually going to be the L in the shape of the lightning, which is going to come a little bit later, and I'm going to try to exaggerate the size so that really comes through. I'm using a blue chalk that is down to the last fragments. I'm just going to use up whatever I can from that box of chalk pastels and then move on to a new box. I tend to use up the earth tones and the blues and the greens, the browns, far faster than the pinks and the reds and even the yellows. And so that's what gets left behind in each box of our chalk pastels and of our color pencils and our crayons for that matter. Alright, so now I'm coming in with another blue just to kind of give some contrast to the waves that are in the background versus the waves that are in the foreground, and just trying to make those waves look like they're lapping onto the ark, and then adding some of the white kind of frothy foam at the very top of the wave just to kind of look like it's about to cascade down over that ark. Using the books, the Prophets of Allah series, has been so helpful in getting the stories that I need for this entire main lesson block, and in some cases, such as this, it's also great for drawing inspiration. Coming up with these drawings on my own has been quite a challenge, and using other drawings and materials has been really helpful. And so I encourage you to check the description box below for more information on the resources that I used. I hope that they're still available. We got them so many years ago. Alright, so now it's time to work on those clouds that are supposed to look quite ominous, and I'm using quite a bit of black. Now I'm using a black chalkboard, and so using black over the chalkboard, you might think that it doesn't show up very much, but it actually does. It gives a deeper black, and also it's great for adding outlines and details to the rest of your drawing. So I do come back in with black quite frequently in order to outline different things that I've made. So there's that striking lightning in the shape of the letter L. I do kind of mess with that quite a bit, trying to get it look just to make it look just right. And it looks pretty good right here, but I actually go back in and kind of mess it up and then have to do it again. I tried to really accentuate it by adding some black to it, and that just made it look even worse. So that's going to come up in a minute. So don't add black to your lightning if you are copying this chalk drawing. So there I am trying to kind of make it look a little bit more like the letter L rather than having it be kind of squished and kind of slanted. And I kind of wreck it, so then I try to add the black, and that actually makes it worse. You don't see me erase the black, but I actually end up doing that at the very end and the very last frame of this video. You'll be able to see that kind of corrected look a little bit. All right, so this is what it looks like in the end before I correct that lightning, and this is what it looks like when I've kind of erased a little bit of that black. All right, so if you'd like to see some of the other lessons in this series, you can tap on the screen right now. If you're interested in the curriculum that I've created for this main lesson block, you can find more information about that on my website at pepperandpine.com. And if you're interested in seeing what our homeschool looks like on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at pepperandpine.